Jeff Bezos named Forbes' richest man in the world last year with a wealth valued at $160 billion. Well, he gave nearly $150 million to charitable causes last year as well, but some say that's not enough. Compared to other billionaires, Bezos donated a significantly smaller percentage of his net worth. So, is it right for Bezos and other billionaires to be shamed into giving more?
Oh, how quickly we forget all the opprobrium that rained down on Bill Gates' head in the 1990s, that he was not giving away sufficient amounts of his vast fortune, and then lo and behold has a meeting with Warren Buffett and gives away half or more of it. I mean, some of this might just be a life cycle thing, meaning, you know, a lot of these people spend all their energy accumulating both wealth and creating a company and then turn around a little bit later and decide to give a lot of it away. Zuckerberg did this a little bit earlier. You know, I guess, well, it's too soon to tell.
And they're bad guys. They're bad guys when they're making it. I mean, you said it, Zachary. You know, Bill Gates was a bad guy because he was making all that money, and all of a sudden he becomes a good guy now that he's giving it away. And they're going to do the same thing, with these new crop of tech entrepreneurs. You know, Jeff Bezos shouldn't be judged about how much money he's given away. That's really inconsequential. Look what he's earned. Look what he's created. I mean, God, he's helped with Amazon.com. He hasn't helped a few million people, 100,000 people. He's changed the world for hundreds and hundreds of billions of people. So he should be celebrated for earning his money, not for giving it away.
I think that's totally right, Jonathan. I think he's giving billionaires a bad name, and, you know, we can all worry about that. But the truth of the matter is, I think it is totally a life cycle thing. Generally speaking, it is not the first thing you're thinking about when you're making your fortune. You get to a point in your life when then you begin to think, what good can you do with it? Or maybe he was thinking about, you know, potential divorce settlement. Who can tell, really?
The biggest bull market is in criticism. Everybody has become a critic. Everybody is telling everybody else what they have to do. If I were Jeff Bezos, I would tell everybody to take a flying leap. I'm going to do whatever the heck I want to do. And thank you for bringing up the Bill Gates, because for years they were jumping down his throat. Bill, you're cheap. Look at how bad you are. You got all these billions. And this man has changed the world for the better throughout the years. He was just biding his time. I have no clue what Jeff Bezos is going to do, but I gather he's going to start giving more away as we move forward. But let him just do what the heck he wants to do.
And, you know, Americans don't need to be told to give away money.
Amen.
Go back.
Correct.
I mean, but it happens every generation. Jealousy and envy. These are the emotional tools of socialism. These things force people in some ways to do the wrong thing in terms of public policy, but eventually you think of the Carnegie Mellons, the Rockefellers, the Fords, they all eventually gave away money.
By the way, you can be sure that if and when Bezos does give away a considerable portion of his fortune, he will then be criticized for how he is spending his philanthropy.
And avoiding taxes.
Climate change.
That's right.
And it's never enough. I mean, if he gave away a third of his fortune, if he really wanted to be a hero to these people, these primarily leftists, he would have to give it all away, you know, and he would have to, you know, become like a Mother Teresa. You know, that would make him really moral if he completely sacrificed. You know, I think Reverend Ike had it best. The best way to help the poor is not to be one of them. And Jeff Bezos has helped millions and trillions of people not be poor in his productive efforts.
Jonathan, I never knew Reverend Ike was one of your heroes. By the way, we should mention Ma and Pa Bezos, the parents of Jeff Bezos, are worth $30 billion themselves, apparently in stock, because they have a big, so they're no doubt going to get a.
And all they ever did was give Jeff Bezos away.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, thanks, guys.